Welcome to Linux Out Loud, episode 120. I'm Matt, your squad leader today, and Wendy and Nate covering the angles, ready to spray down your feed with high FPS, Linux, and open source chatter. Lock in your loadout, tighten your audio headshot settings, and get... It's great, Wendy, by the way.
You're welcome.
And get ready to push the objective with us in this round of Linux Out Loud. You so had to go with
Apparently you did not pre-read the intro.
I did not.
Well, since when does Matt plan for anything?
Never.
About as often as you do, Nate.
I plan for everything. Usually I plan to fail. And then when I don't, I'm really excited.
All thumbs up. It's been a really long time since the three of us have been together. Like, I don't even remember the last episode. I'd have to go look. When was the last episode that the three of us were actually together? So I know I've been doing like thumbnails with our pictures. So based on that, it can't be 107. No, the two of us were together. Matt and I were together on 109. And then...
But I mean, that sounds about right. I mean, it's been a while since I've been able to be on.
Yeah, I think it was 110. That's so like 10 episodes.
So about 3 months, give or take, you figure.
Yeah. Oh, no. I take that back. I found you on 114. Still a long time, because there's been like major gaps between episodes, like we were talking about on the last couple shows. You know, life has just gotten crazy, even for all of us. I know Bill was like, hey, because technically we should have recorded on January 20th. Bill was like, hey, you know, we can totally record. I'm like, recording isn't the issue right now. The recording, this part is the easy part. This part is the funnest part. It's editing and getting the show out that takes forever. And I'm like, I don't have time for that part of it. So that's why it's late again. I know, I apologize. But
sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I do want us to be more consistent. We talked about that as a full team to try and hit that every 2-week goal for you guys to be back on a steady schedule. I think I should be able to maintain that here for a little while. Come this spring, things might change, but we'll talk about that.
You know, not that I'm all that great at editing, but this is one of the things I did purchase, I think, because of Matt. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
It's showing up. This actually works really well. So I can do editing, but I'm probably not going to use the same software as you. So I don't know if you had some general assets or whatever, I could probably pick up some of the editing work.
I've got all the assets for the show. So I know Ryan did the last 2 episodes of DL.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the same of how I did it, but the show got out. So maybe that's how we'll get back on some consistency.
Ryan,
I think it's
Ryan.
I can't.
Love you, bud. It's a backhanded compliment.
It's I mean, it's something I could do. I just I'm glad to do it.
Cool.
So I would just need to like the hard assets, the little bits and pieces you use. I'm not probably not gonna do any extra effects other than maybe like make Matt slide off the screen or something like that at most.
That could be fun.
Put a dunce cap on him.
Yeah.
Donkey face, donkey head.
I've done the donkey face for Ryan. I don't know if I've done the dunce cap. I think I put the dunce cap on Michael.
I mean, you could have done either one for either one of those two, and it would have been appropriate.
Well, it's usually Ryan that's making the donkey of himself. And it's usually because he's throwing shade at me while I'm supposed to be editing that show. And I'm like, I can't help myself now. Like, I have to do something to you. I can't just leave this.
Well, I mean, you can, but...
Okay, I could, but I'm not going to. I'm too petty for that.
But what you're not too petty for, Wendy, is an update on how state went.
Yes, because that's part of the reason why the show was late again. So Idaho State Championship was for both the first Lego League Challenge team and for our first Tech Challenge team. And the first Lego League team got second champions. So they are going to be able to get to travel again this year. They're kind of back and forth between an event in California and going back to Massachusetts. The first Tech Challenge team were finalists in robot games, so second place in robot. They were doing really good, and they could have pulled that one off, but their alliance partner disconnected during that finals match, and there was just no way to recuperate the points afterwards. And then they got the coveted Inspire Award. So they had changed the way that was all working this year, and they had enough ranking points at the end of it that they are now once again like first in the state. And I think they're choosing Houston, Texas. I think they're choosing Worlds again. So I will be traveling this spring. Houston happens the end of April, early May. If the FLL team chooses California, that's I think late May. If they choose Waffle in Massachusetts, that's mid-June. So I will be letting, all the people that I edit for and all of that good stuff, kind of what that looks like as we have some dates nailed down. The next big thing is I'm now on a roll for looking at grant money, because I've got another crap ton of money to raise to get both teams to their different respective places. So if you know of a grant or anybody who would love to donate to a 501c3, let me know and I will get you in touch with them. Or, like I said, if it's grant wise, send it my direction, and I will be spending pretty much all of my off time right now writing grants.
Well, grant writing sounds like tons of fun.
Doesn't it, though? Absolutely not.
It sounds about as much fun as technical writing at some points in it, doesn't it, Nate?
No, technical writing is actually fun. Grant writing is not fun.
I'm going to do my best. I've got at least a line on one here for Idaho, the Idaho STEM Action Center, that I will be doing here shortly. But I spent most of my time today finally getting the Linux Out Loud Discord up and running. So you'll see a link down in the bottom of the show notes. You can come join us on a dedicated Linux Out Loud Discord. We were talking yesterday because we finally had time to all kind of sit down together and decide, hey, where are we taking the show? And we know a lot of you have been asking about the unedited versions of the show. You're like, hey, you cut stuff out. We see these edit screens. What in the heck is happening when you put those in? And so we've been talking about having a Linux Out Loud After Dark version, but that would be available for patrons only. That wouldn't be out just on the main show. So if you are interested in that, let me know and I'll figure out how to get all of that set up. State's over with, give me time, but life is still not on crazy at the moment, so I'll be getting to it as soon as I possibly can. Now, one thing I have absolutely loved is my Starlink. You can't see it right now because I have a massive printer in the way. Had to move that when printing books for the robotics teams, and it's still here. But otherwise, you'd be able to see my Starlink router. I've got a Starlink Mini that I love. Are you getting a Starlink there, Nate?
I did. It came in on Saturday, but there was some sort of a logistical error, and it said it hadn't shipped yet. And then, so when I tried to activate it, I couldn't activate it on Saturday. Not a big deal. Tried again on Sunday, didn't work. Tried again Monday, didn't work. But then I got a notification that it shipped on this morning, and then it automatically activated. So there was some kind of mix-up. I had a conversation with the Starlink, Grok helper, and basically says, I can't fix this, but yeah, it looks like somebody messed up. That's basically a gist of what it said. So anyway, so now it's going now. I'm using it right now, in fact. And my speeds are, I think, because I did some different speed tests and they kind of vary between them. So I'm sure it's what it's bouncing off of. So I'm getting anywhere between 50 to 120 megabits per second download. Obviously, it's not fiber levels, but compared to my 20 before, it's an improvement. it's also $40 a month cheaper than what I was spending before. And as far as consistency, I don't know yet. Still testing this out. I'm watching the upload speeds as we do this. It says 99% continuously. Nothing seems to be blinking out at all. I mean, Matt, he seems to be flaking out, but that's kind of Matt. So that might not be his internet connection. And
Nate, it's anytime you talk.
I understand.
He goes honestly, dim.
I get fed up with myself too, so I get it, and so I feel for you. There's been some other like major projects that have been going on around the old cubicle estate, as I'll call it. Had a major basement project that I had to do to basically prevent water from coming in. So I hired a company to come in and do this water remediation thing, and so they had to like dig up around the foundation inside and outside of the house to essentially keep water from coming in. And they had to put a sump pump. It was a really big ordeal. And so the problem was the 2-post rack that I bought for my server stuff went above the floor joists, so they couldn't actually move that away. And so I had to move everything out of that 2-post rack into something shorter. And I had actually planned on doing this anyway, so I had it sitting there, just hadn't done it yet. Anyway, so I moved everything, which, by the way, it prompted me to get a label maker. I wish I would have gotten it sooner, but, here we are. Anyway, so I had a label where all the different ports went, so I wouldn't mess that up. And luckily, I had this exact same experience in the Texas facility that I work at. And ironically, I went from a 4-post rack there to a 2-post, identical to the one I had in the basement for this little IT closet. So it's kind of like a little swip, changing roles here. But the other nice thing too is, so my server, instead of it balancing on something now, it actually is mounted in there on slides. So that's really nice, I think. I feel like, I'm really moving on up with my home lab here. I don't have like the proper articulating arm thing, so I can like route all the wires just perfectly yet, but I'll get there. I'm sure I can find some garbage in the back of the server room and one of the plants. But anyway,
make it work. Yeah.
It's fine for now. It's way better than it was. So I'm doing some rearranging in that area of the basement and really trying to make it so the basement's more usable. Now that I have, since I removed the old sump pump, which just kind of was a pit that was sandy, it had a bunch of like clay tiles going that were feeding into it, and it didn't really work very well. I also had a frog living in there, which was I missed the frog. Oh, it was kind of sad because the frog was growing over the years that it was living down there. I don't know if it was a boy or girl, but surprised me quite a few times. But going after the crickets, so it was always well fed.
Oh, that was anyway, a bonus, yeah.
Yeah. So now I don't know what about the crickets in this situation come this summer, but we'll find out, I suppose. So the way they redid all the water mitigation stuff, I have a lot more floor space. Basically, what it boils down to. Not a lot more, but more usable floor space.
Right.
So I still have to wait for the concrete to harden. I got another 2.5-ish weeks for that, and then I can paint it and everything else. So I'm really excited about this. I got the server rack, which I can't push against a wall yet because it's kind of on the line of, is it too heavy to cause damage to the concrete? I'm not going to risk it. And, in the reorganizing, I'm going to take all my musical instrument stuff, which is kind of somewhat in my living room and somewhat like kind of in storage. I'm going to make like a little musical area down there so I can, because I've talked about music stuff I've done in the past. So
yeah,
not that I don't perform or at all, but I like to noodle. And so I'll have a nice little noodling area that I can do these things. And I'm kind of looking forward to that.
That's cool.
So kind of a mixture of really messy concrete, dusty work and this, and also it's just going to make a little more usable space around my Lego table, which I haven't really talked about in some time, but I have a 4-foot by 16-foot Lego table that's been kind of neglected because kids didn't want to go down there because sometimes it would rain and get wet. And then it was just, and then when I'm fighting the water issue. And so anyway,
yeah,
I'm excited about no more mold, in the basement. There's another thing too, where basically it'll maintain the humidity of the basement by kind of like a ventilation thing. It'll actually suck the air out of it to keep, pull air from upstairs down is how it's supposed to work, I guess. And, but I have a new spring project where I'm gonna have to bury some of the sump output, to basically go to my little duck pond that I have.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'll have,
cool.
The thing I'm also kind of thinking of too is I got a room down there that I can't utilize. I'm just spitballing here, making conversation. I don't know that I'm going to do this yet, but it's just a thought. What I'd like to do is maybe actually have a a studio there. So instead of using it in my like here I'm in my bedroom, or I'm using my lab, and they're both not really sound deadened properly. So actually creating a room down there that I could actually do recording, and then maybe have retro stuff around me, whether it's kids' toys or my boxed games, excuse me, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about it. Don't know if I'm going to do that, but it's something I'm kind of noodling around.
I like that idea.
Yeah,
yeah.
So I guess we'll see, and then I can invite Matt over, and I can beat him in a game of Super Mario World, and I can show him who's boss. Or not.
So you'd like to think, Nate.
The kids were actually playing retro games this weekend. Our Airbnb had an emulator that had a ton of old games on it. So they were playing Sonic 2, Street Fighter, Mario. Like they were having an absolute blast.
I mean, I get it.
Yep. I literally have a 12 terabyte drive that has nothing but retro games on it, so I get it.
Those games aren't very big, so like that's a crap ton of retro games. I did over like the break of all this stuff get the Witcher games series. It was on GOG as a bundle, and so I did pick that up on sale. I started the first Witcher.
So the first one's going to be a bit rough.
Okay.
Just from like a modern-ish like lens of gameplay. The combat.
Well, I'm not much for like the combat anyway, so
yeah.
I did set it on the easiest level. I haven't died yet, but it told me that I could like make my sword flame, and I can't figure out. Yes, keyword is yes, and I'm not pushing the right button to do that. Apparently,
no. So it's based on timing. So as you are going through, you will see the sword change to like an orange kind of color that keeps the flow of your attack going. And then once you get into other aspects of the game, then you can start getting into other aspects of the game where it's like different forms and all the other stuff is based on like monsters or groups or humans or whatever. Anyway, that game is specifically is rough because of the style of they use for the game engine
combat
more than anything else. Yeah, it's based on the Neverwinter Nights 2 engine, which is based on the Knights of the Old Republic games engine. It's just a more refined version of it.
Okay.
So that's why that one looks a little more rough. I will say that I do like the Witcher games, though. They are very detail oriented as far as what you're going to get and do and all that kind of stuff for lore. So,
what year did the Witcher games come out? Like, what year is this first Witcher game?
2007.
It was early 2000s. Yeah.
2007
for the first one.
So it's not really retro.
No, it's not really retro, but it's not new.
Yeah, it's definitely not new.
Well, it was it was 2007, 2010, and 2015 was, I believe, the release cadence for those games
when they came out.
Yeah, when they came out. But yeah, no, I've been a big proponent of GOG lately. Not gonna lie, there's been some nice moves that GOG's been doing. But
I think I have another set of retro games in my cart. Also, not ones that I would probably be good at, but I like the fact that they are working on some of those games. They're keeping those games going. So the Resident Evil bundle is the one that I currently have in my cart as well.
Is that the one for 1, 2, and 3? I believe.
Yeah, I think it's got 1, 2, and 3 in it.
So
yeah,
Nate,
it's got through 3, it's got 0, and then Evil HD Remastered.
Yeah. So Nate, you'll like those because this was telling publishers like Capcom's like, why would people want to play those games? History, like so. It's been interesting seeing Capcom put a bunch of stuff out on GOG lately. Nate, go buy Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 on GOG. Go. Oh, good. He muted himself. Perfect.
Yeah, he muted himself. We can't hear you.
I'm going on a heroic right now. They have a store on there, right? I can
Not heroic, GOG.
Well,
GOG, and then you'll play them in heroic. Yep.
Well, no, you can actually access the stores.
I can access
the store from there. I don't think I'm logged into the store. From there.
Yeah. It depends if you want to be logged in or not.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, and deal's ending in 7 hours. Maybe I'll check that first.
It is.
Anyway, speaking of deals, Matt, did you get a deal on mesh networking?
I did. There is a Netgear Nighthawk system that I bought for mesh networking. It's Wi-Fi 6. It was a 3-pack. And it cost me $68, give or take. So
wow.
The whole point for this is I am setting up a Jellyfin media server for where I'm currently at. I have a HP ProDesk Mini, which is a small mini PC. It's I think it's an i5 8500T. Super low power. It's like 35 watts at full draw. But 8 gigs of RAM, 512 NVMe, which is weird because given the price of NVMe's.
Right.
But I'm going to be putting Ubuntu on it, like the desktop flavor of Ubuntu. I'm going to be running Casa OS, which is an earlier version of, I believe is Zima OS, which is kind of a pointy, clicky way version of dealing with containers and all the other stuff and deployments and all.
Okay.
Just, it's just stuff I don't want to deal with.
Right. Yeah.
And I get it.
I am attaching two 20 terabyte external drives as redundancy.
Wow.
For storage. And I am making this yeah, I'm going to mirror them. I haven't set this up yet. I need a couple of days to do all this stuff, but I got so much crap in boxes that it's not even funny. And then
so happens when you jump states.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this local network only, though. This is a Jellyfin server that is not touching the internet ever. So can
I make a suggestion on that?
Yes.
Pale scale.
So I get what you're saying. I did look into this and I understand what you're saying. I don't need access everywhere. I just need it for here. I don't.
No, I need access to it. So if you want to give me
no. Nice try. But so the way I view this is there is apps on Kodi that allow you to integrate Jellyfin server as a integrated part into Kodi. So the US, I think it's called Kodi, Jellyfin for Kodi, I believe is the actual plugin name. And it just pulls in everything, like all the metadata, all that stuff into Kodi, like it's a natural thing that you actually put locally in from Kodi, but it's pulling it in from your server instead. So you don't need like a specific dedicated Kodi box.
Can we talk about maybe some sort of other synchronization method? So I've got like 32 terabytes of storage, like
that's
27 of them are.
That's a you problem. Yeah. You figure it out.
All right, fine. Yeah, I was thinking, redundancy, a mirror, so that, should something happen, you got a backup.
That's what the physical redundancy. That's what the two physical redundancy disks are for.
But you want an offsite backup. See, I'm really trying to get you to, set up an offsite backup.
No, I don't. And don't give me the keep one, have a back offsite, and keep another. I know. You're nice try though with the offsite.
Hey, I'm your offsite one.
That is my current project, and all in, I think I'm probably in $500 on that, give or take. The drives
on the movies plus the hardware, or
no, I'm not adding the movies. The movies, those are kind of just like purchases as I kind of do them
as you go and kind of thing. Yeah.
Hardware wise, the two drives are about $400 total. And the
drives would definitely be the most expensive part of that. Yeah.
It was cheaper for me to get. So I have a Ugreen drop system that I could use as a USB system that has all my games storage. Same deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I can drop two 3.5 drives in it. But buying a 3.5, like just 3.5 drive, no external enclosures, nothing. It was actually cheaper for me to get those, like the full enclosure external drives.
Oh yeah, and I don't know why, but
crazy.
I've noticed the same thing too. Is that it's cheaper to get the external drives as opposed to the internal drives, but they're like the same thing minus the enclosure.
Yeah, it's super crazy to me. So I went that route instead because it was. I looked at 10 terabyte redundant drives, and it was $179 for a 10 terabyte drive. I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah. So are you noticing like any speed issues? Like, can you still watch the movies just fine with them being external drives and not having any problems that way?
I've done it. So prior Kodi boxes where I was just on one system, I never had any issues pulling from USB 3 base drives because I don't rip in 4K because of I'm more of a quantity over 4K storage quality nonsense. So give me a good 1080p, give me a good 1080p rip, and I'm fine as far as the movie. So, and let's be real, 4K Ultra Blu-ray HD or whatever the thing is like 75 gigs per disc, and like I just don't care.
So you've got the disc if you want to watch it in Ultra HD, but I mean, I am running 4K monitors, but part of the reason why I do that is because the text is so much clearer, and when I'm looking at the smaller text, it's all easier to read. As far as movies, I'm pretty happy with 1080p.
Yeah, and that's my whole thing. It's just like, do I care that it's uncompressed audio? Like I am ripping it with Make MKV, and then I'm converting it with Handbrake anyway. So do I care? There's already been enough conversion.
So you're going to be losing quality throughout that process anyway. So yeah.
So generally, what I'm doing is I'm ripping the raw video, and then I use Handbrake to boot it down to a 1080p file instead. That's generally what I do. It's just easier and gives me more storage and stuff availability.
So then do you trash the raw file after you've converted it to 1080p?
Yeah. I don't do the storage of the raw file. I'm one of those that just doesn't care in that regard. I know
you've talked about time before, but like what's the average time it takes to rip?
It depends on generally the movie length. Usually about 15 minutes a rip. Usually I can do about 3 to 4 videos in about an hour. Not counting converting the file itself.
Right. Just the ripping portion of it.
Yeah, because that's solely based off disk speed and throughput.
When I rip, I just use MKV, throw it up there, and I just call it good.
I'm
but I have storage to burn.
I also have storage to burn. I just don't care because I want more movies on my storage. It's a trade-off.
Eventually, to build up the stock. I don't have a disc player, so this is a project I've wanted to do, but I don't currently have a way to rip them.
There is a LG Blu-ray reader ripper external. That is cost like that costs maybe $50. It's not super expensive. That's the one I personally use.
Okay.
So nice. Again, nice project if you want to do cold storage and a little less reliance on your streaming services, which I've kind of gotten disenfranchised with over the years. So
100%. Because it seems like there's less good movies on them or TV shows. I am looking forward to the next season of Shoresy that drops later this month. But my husband and I will binge watch pretty much the entire season in a night, and then we'll need something else to watch.
I hear you. So while I have been busy playing and buying hardware again, Wendy, it looks like you are also doing more hardware.
So this isn't hardware. It's a software thing that I've been using this beastie with, and I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before. It's Bookbinder JS. It's an open source project. It's all written in JavaScript that allows you to take a PDF and turn it into a booklet form. And I wish I had the books with me right now so I could show you the finished product of them. But the students, when working on their engineering portfolios, need something that's collaborative. And when that comes out, it's just a regular straight up PDF. Now, I could print that, and during the regular season, they stick those pages in a binder, more or less a presentation book, so that as they're making changes in 2 weeks for the next competition, I'm just printing the page that they've redone for their engineering portfolio. But when it comes to state, or in this case, when they go internationally to worlds or whatever they're doing, they want those in a nice, pretty bound magazine style book. And this open source piece of software lets me do that. It's absolutely fantastic. You can do more than just a booklet. You can have like tiny pages, all kinds of really cool things. It'll teach you how to cut them right and fold them in order to have smaller booklets or whatnot. It's a really, really cool piece of software, and it's been a lifesaver for me, so that instead of having to work in one of those more official publisher type things, and I was struggling to find something here, I guess it was about a year ago. And this is kind of what I landed on. It's been fantastic. It hasn't failed me at all. Um, I did run into a dummy problem. So I had exported the Teams
Was that
book
you're working
for
with us for dummy problem?
no, I am the dummy problem.
Okay.
I'd exported their book and I'd ran it through Bookbinder, and I was like, holy crap, why are you adding an extra 2 pages? This makes no sense. And you're putting in places that I don't want the pages to be. Could not figure it out. I thought there was something wrong with the export or something wrong with the software that they were using to put the PDF together, all of that stuff. And finally, the one book wasn't for our team. I told some other teams that, hey, if you have your engineering portfolio to me by this specific date, then I'll print it for you. And their book was 10 pages, and it kept adding it to make it 12. And I'm like, why are you doing that? And they're 11 by 17, right? So then technically there would be 4 pages per overall page, 2 on the front, 2 on the back. And I was like, oh, yeah. So each page, like physical page, is 4 pages. So the total pages of the book has to be divisible by 4, or you're going to end up with random white pages in the book. So that's a keynote. Make sure that the total pages of the book is divisible by 4. So what I ended up doing for them, because I had access to the raw PDF version of their book, was to just go add a couple pages at the end of it, so that way everything would still line up properly. Then ran it back through Bookbinder. It was gorgeous. Came out just the way that they wanted it. Apparently, it worked well for them because they did awesome. It was the rookie team that we were helping this year, and they also get to travel. So good on them for doing awesome as well. So that's my little tidbit. I know I shared it in one of the Discord chats. I think it was the Deviant Airways, which is now the overarching one for Destination Linux. But it's a good one to share. I know that many of you don't print like full on books. Most of you don't have printers that can do 13 by 19, but it's amazing. If you need it as a tool, it's amazing.
So what I think is interesting about this is, I mean, I could just print it on an 8.5 by 11, really. So it actually takes the pages, and it rearranges them so you can fold it and then staple it or whatever you want to do to turn into but that's pretty cool. I just tried it out. So I thought it was kind of neat.
Yeah, it could be smaller booklets, right? It doesn't have to be a full on like regular magazine style. I've got an ad right here, so it's not the actual one. But it is nice to have that as a feasibility, even if it's not for the full 8.5 by 11 finished when stapled. It's pretty cool. It gives you all kinds of funky sizes, way more multiple pages that you can do on it. Pretty awesome tool. Even if you don't actually need it, go check it out, play with it. It's kind of fun.
Keep that in my little back pocket. Just in case.
Yes, keep that in your back pocket for sure. Now, something that you may or may not be able to fit in your back pocket is a new USB-C upgrade for your PS4. You're still using your PS4?
Actually, you can. So this is what it is. The idea is on a. I don't have one here. Okay, so here's a PS5 controller. So not a good example, but PS5's got a USB-C plug. USB. The PS4 has a micro USB, and as we all know, micro USB is basically the worst connector ever invented.
Yes.
Yep. So it's supposed to have like so many more cycles that would have been better off just sticking with mini, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, so we have a bunch. We still play the PS4 and also use the PS4 controller sometimes for other things. And also, you can actually plug the PS4 controller into the PS3 and actually use it that way too. So, there's some. But the problem is that they have micro USB and it's not reliable. So some of these controllers aren't charging, and the only way to charge them is to put them on the cradle thing. And my son found this. My oldest, he likes old technology for some reason. I don't understand where he gets that from. But anyway.
Maybe because you're his dad. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So bad parentage. He found these things. They're from like Norway, I think is where they came from. And so I got enough for all the. They have different boards for some of the different versions of controllers. So we had to take one of them apart to make sure on one of them. But so we're going to replace all the boards there. I'm waiting for a file set to come in. But we're going to have to slightly open up the opening for where instead of, because the USB-C is wider than the micro USB. And then we can charge these or use these however we want. Because it's literally just a drop-in replacement. You just put the little ribbon cable in and drop it in. So that's pretty
there's
easy.
no soldering involved at all?
Nope.
Oh, I might have to get some.
But you do have to modify the housing. You do have to modify the case slightly. You have to make it slightly. You have to open it up, and you have to remove some of the support, some ribbing on the other thing. So I will put a link in the show notes for the video. It's the guy who makes it also. And I think it's a great way. I mean, some purists might say, "Oh, this is terrible. How dare you modify a controller?" But I'd say, well, no, we need to eliminate micro USB from the history of
100% agree. It's one of my biggest complaints about the little kids' robots is the Spike Prime hubs have the micro USB, which is absolute garbage. I wish it was C. C was the thing at the time that they made them. But the robot controllers that the FTC team was using was the PS4 controllers. And one of them was having a really sticky button issue. I need to take it apart, get the sticky button fixed. But I purchased those controllers 2 years ago, still used, but I purchased those controllers 2 years ago when we had another rookie team, so I could bring them home and my kids could use them on Steam or whatever they wanted to for gaming related stuff because we got the team. They're now using the PS5 DualShock on the robot.
DualSense?
Yes, DualSense. Yes, those ones right there. I know. When I brought them in, one of the team members was like, "Oh, you got us the Dual Sense controller." So he was super excited because there was more vibration sensors in them that they could use as like driver control stuff.
Yeah.
So
what they're super happy about is the triggers on the back are more haptic based. So they are, so it's almost like an accelerator. So the further down you go, it gives you more granular control on stuff.
And I know they're not driving with that, but I've seen teams that do.
Yeah. So
they're adjusting their speed basing on like how far they're pushing on the trigger.
Yeah, so, like there's some really cool tech in the PS5 DualSense controllers,
and it works super well with Linux, especially OpenSUSE Tumbleweed. There, I put it. I got it.
Nate, he got his dig in there for
Nate, are you doing Bluetooth or are you doing plug
on Linux?
Yeah,
Bluetooth. I just
turned
it on.
I was just curious. Yeah, I know it just works. I was just curious.
Like
I know something.
I'm really impressed by how well it works. So
I will give Sony credit on something. They actually made sure it works on Linux. Novel.
I don't think they did, because I read somewhere that their driver for Linux is actually kind of, well, there's a term for it that I'm not going to utilize say here.
Let me rephrase. They gave the base and the community improved it. That better?
Yeah, well, they actually had to.
Okay.
They had to like break the driver and then to make it work with the silly way that Sony implemented it or something like that. They didn't. Sony didn't follow any standards, the proper standards. So,
is that a surprise? No.
Nope.
But I will say, I'll take Sony over Xbox. So it's like, which bad one do you want? You know.
See, and we have an Xbox One that the kids have been playing for quite a few years, and they've enjoyed it. I've never owned a PlayStation of any kind, so I can't say much on that realm. Or Nintendo, for that matter. PlayStation did.
2. I mean, after the 2,
I would say 3 was when online became less of a optional thing and more of a necessity.
Oh, okay.
So that's what, and when it went from less PC mind frame of online, which was the big selling point for me for the PS3 was the free online. Then it just became goes downhill from here.
So when you want to play Fortnite on Linux, the PS5 controller is the best.
I've never played Fortnite.
So wait. Let people gauge that what Nate just said, because certain people that are in charge of making Fortnite would never say that they would support Linux, yet they claim they want open stuff.
Well,
I'm gonna call.
Can't you play that through? I can't remember what platform you can play it through. Are you playing it through GOG?
No, GeForce
or through
Now.
Heroic. Oh, GeForce Now. Okay,
it's GeForce Now. Yes, NVIDIA's GeForce Now. It's like layered bull dookie of how to get this thing to work. So I had to like log into my Microsoft account through Epic to get it to work on my account. So it's like 3 layers of logins just to get it to work. But whatever, it's working fine. Once you get it going, it's good to go. And I intended to play it on the Steam Deck, but I found I just enjoyed it more on the framework than the Steam Deck. So nothing against the Steam Deck. I don't know. I just prefer maybe the larger screen or something. I don't even know why that is, but I'm kind of going back and forth a little bit. Anyway, so there's a GeForce Now is a flat pack, easy to install, whether you're on the Steam Deck or on the framework on your computer. And
yeah,
I don't like cloud gaming. Like there's something feels just almost disconnected and a little bit like rubber bandy. I don't know. Is that the right term, Matt? Help me out here.
You're talking about input latency and that kind of stuff where things just kind of...
It's not just input latency. There's something else that's a little bit...
So it's the sending it's essentially it's sending the signal from the server back to you, and there's almost this weird, like, not smoothness, but it's like this kind of, like you were mentioning, like rubber banding effect where it's just like it feels longer to do something, and like visually it just looks off.
Yes, but now the caveat is I think I almost... Okay, so here are the two experiences. One, I can play on GeForce Now, or I can play it on the PS5 or 4, or whichever one it has it on. I don't remember which one it has it on there right now.
Both.
And if I'm going to play it on the PS5, I have to plan it like 7 hours in advance for the download to happen. If I do GeForce Now, I might have just upgraded my internet, so maybe it'll be faster. Maybe it'll be 5 hours now, an hour or 3. So it's got to do all these updates for Fortnite, and then I can play it on GeForce Now. I can hop in, play with the kids a little bit, hop back out. I'm done,
So
and they think, "Oh, Dad is so great because he played Fortnite with us," whatever.
Well, see, this is the thing that makes elements of the streaming cool, where so there's just kind of that pick up play. There's no updates. There's no all that stuff isn't there, which is I'm not gonna lie, is as a gamer across the board, it doesn't matter if it's console, PC, whatever. That is the biggest annoyance. You go to fire up a game and it's like, oh, insert dumb update here that takes me 2 hours. Cool, I didn't want it, and most of the time you can't ignore them.
Frankly, the games that I play don't require updates. They haven't had updates in like 20 years, so that's not really an issue for me.
But I get to what your point is, though, like with the PS5 or 4 version of Fortnite, and cool updates that so much for my time.
Right. Yeah. Like, well, we'll let this update. Let's go play Minecraft or something, and then gaming time is over. So I guess we're not going to play it today, But so yeah, that aspect is kind of cool.
I know my downloads have been pretty steady since I got Starlink. I'm not sure if you're on the full residential package or the one that's a knock back, and I'm not sure how much traffic is in your area, because I know traffic makes a difference, and then the version of the satellite, right? Is it version 2 or is it version 3? That'll make some difference in speeds, and so that's sometimes why you're seeing the up and downs when you connect, based on the age of the satellite that you're currently connecting to at the time. But I think my download right now averages about 250 down. And if I'm uploading large files, I'll jump up to like 20-ish, maybe a little bit more. And then it'll come down to like a consistent 10 or 12 up. Just kind of depending.
Yeah, I'm in a highly wooded area. And so right now it's okay because there's no leaves on the trees. So
right.
I'm going to have to climb my antenna tower and put like a little thing off the side of it. But
to actually get it up higher above the tree line. I know we're going to have to do something kind of like that with the Mini, which the trees are tall enough there. There's no way I'm getting above the tree line, but I think we've got an open enough space that with that come this summer, depending on how it goes, I may be editing this show and maybe even recording this show from the mountains because I've got that thing.
Nice. That's actually really cool. Matt, speaking of gaming, what is this BattleTech? I suppose I could look it up since I have GOG open here.
Nate, you might know it more as Mech Warrior. It's the universe that Mech Warrior. It is the universe that Mech Warrior is based in.
I played this as a board game too, so
so which is originally what it was. So BattleTech, this particular one, yes, it does have a native Linux build for those that care about that.
Nice.
Which one is it?
It's BattleTech.
I see Flashpoint, 2018, Urban Warfare.
Those are DLC.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'm silly. It's only $10.
Yep.
Yeah, but if you get the deluxe edition, it's actually on a better deal.
And you get all the DLC.
It's actually cheaper. I'm adding the deluxe edition because I was already have like a cart full at GOG and was getting ready to check out so I could get the Resident Evil games on sale. But
so not that I'm totally enabling people to buy games.
Never. Always.
The thing I like about this game is the fact that I'm a big Mech Warrior guy. I love the Mech Warrior games. Mech Warrior 4 is Mercenaries is legit my favorite Mech Warrior game. I do have 5, which is the newer one. But this, if you want a lore heavy turn-based strategy game that I would say fits more in the lines of like the newer versions of XCOM and that kind of stuff, this is definitely something that will float that need, as it were. The fact that they do develop for Linux. These guys also made the Shadowrun games, so like Shadowrun Returns and Shadowrun Hong Kong, and I believe it's Dragonfall. So these guys have been Linux supporters for a long time, at least for most of their games. So I really do like a lot of the games that they make because they are lore heavy. They're classic kind of board games or niche products that have finally kind of gotten some love that they haven't done. Because I mean, the last Shadowrun game was basically an online service that Microsoft butchered to no end. Way to how that they get that out of a lore heavy RPG about technology and anyway. Well, basically, the way Shadowrun works, it's basically orcs and all the like fantasy, but in modern times with magic still a thing. So it's modern technology, it's magic, it's all this kind of conjumbled stuff. But BattleTech is definitely much more grounded. A lot of customization options that you can do for your squad and all that kind of stuff. So, like, if you really want to spend amount of time in this, you will spend last I looked, it's about 50 plus hours on just the normal style of game. That's not including the DLCs and all that stuff. So I don't have many hours into this, but it is definitely worth the price of admission.
So it does say multiplayer and single player, so you can play it both versions, right?
Yep. Yeah. Multiplayer is if you want to play with friends and that kind of stuff, like it's I don't want to say LAN, but it gives you the option to play online.
Okay.
So it is again, and I'm highlighting GOG specifically because this is where the preservation, the ownership, and like that kind of stuff is very, very key to me right now. And the fact that they're making it so you can is awesome.
Yeah, Nate, I know. Like I said, I've been buying a lot more games off of GOG lately.
Nate, you'll appreciate this too. Final Fantasy remaster of 8, 9, and I think 3 and 4 are also available on GOG. They just came out. Final Fantasy.
I think I did see them just pop up. Yeah.
9, which is a PS1 game. 8, 3, and I believe it was 4. Those all became recently available as of a couple days ago. And if people want to claim a freebie, I don't know if it's still available currently. Alone in the Dark 1, 2, and 3 is currently available to be claimed as a freebie to your account. So those that want the original horror games, there you go.
Yeah. So is that through Amazon free, or is that free somewhere else?
That is directly from GOG. It should be somewhere. It should show up somewhere on their front store page.
Cool. So the install size download size is 14 gigabytes. That's it's not too bad.
No, well, download size and install size are very different. I don't remember.
Yeah, 33 gig install size.
But fun, like I said, it's a fun game.
Not that I just bought it or anything like that.
No, because not at all.
Yeah.
And not that I threw in an extra couple bucks, or extra buck, I should say, for supporting, things.
If you really want to, and I know I probably shouldn't plug their own stuff, but they also do have a Patreon for their game preservation stuff. Just saying.
Nice.
It's
a good thing to support, I think. A very good thing to support.
Again, I just think in this digital time frame, I think the lack of ownership on stuff, the pipe dream that we were sold is not the pipe dream we were given. Essentially, of like a la carte and everything else. The a la carte went away when everybody decided to silo their own stuff again, and it just became cable with more individual bills that keep going up.
No kidding. Yeah. Yeah, because I remember that bill, and I remember that discussion because my son was pretty little when we had we're going to get rid of the dish, right? And we're going to go to streaming services, and it saved us a lot of money at first. And the next thing you know, it's like nickel and dimey. Okay, if you want this service it's 10, and that service it's 10. It's like, holy crap.
Nate, why do you have
There's very few shows that I actually watch.
I realize I haven't played Free Space in a while. I bought the extension pack on GOG. No, I'm not. I'll put it away. I haven't paused my game to be here. I did pause my game. I haven't started the game to be here.
He will be playing it right after.
Yes.
Well, actually, after something else, because I got to go pick up kid from robotics. So.
Oh yes, that whole thing. Yeah.
That old chestnut.
The child can walk. It's fine.
Be a heck of a walk. About a 2-hour walk, I think.
It's fine. That's going to do it for this match of Linux Out Loud, episode 120. Wendy, Nate, and I are heading back to the lobby to reload configs and queue up for the next mission for our Penguin-powered rigs. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for joining us for this. I can't even say. Thanks for joining us for another awesome episode of Linux Out Loud.
Pew, pew, pew,
I think.
pew.
I was thinking like awesome soda, almost like an awesome soda of Linux Out Loud. We need our own soda.
What flavor would it be?
It has to be sparkling water, something that tasted like strawberries could have been in the room at some point in time. I don't know.
It's sour, I think.
Oh yeah, like a kiwi.
Yeah.
Like an unripened kiwi. That's what we are.
No, that's just you.